There's one item that I want to talk about in today's video, and this item, in my opinion, I would love to hear your thoughts, completely changed Helldivers 2. Let's talk about it. The item that I'm talking about is the Warp Pack. Once again, make sure to let me know what you guys think about this topic in the comment section below. Give feedback because the devs will also see this, right? And the reason I think that this item is so important, well, there's a few reasons actually, but let's start off with talking about warbonds in general. I think that the warbonds are a very, and I mean very important part of the game, right? And to be honest, I think they're even more important than most people realize, including the devs. And what I mean by that, guys, is if you take a look at Helldivers 2, the game has kind of become like an event-based game, right? So there's not a bunch of content that's being added all the time, but whenever there is, it happens usually in the time span of 4 to 5 months. We get something that gets added to the game, everybody's having a blast, then it obviously slows down, and then there's a lot of like, let's call it just dry season in between, and that's when warbonds come in. However, even when we do get those content drops, let's say like the Super Earth and whatnot, right? It's not a content drop like you would have in many other games. So get it to drop, something cool is happening, and then it might go away, right? Completely. You're not fighting in that kind of environment anymore, and then it comes back again. And that's how this game functions. That's why I said event-based kind of game, which in many ways is pretty cool, right? Like it gives you the ability to kind of get out of the game, chill, play other video games. When there's something cool happening, you hop back in, have a good time. And that is why warbonds are so important, because every month we know that a warbond is going to drop, and we know that this warbond is going to have items that are going to be new items added to the game. And this is where the Warp Pack conversation comes in. You see, usually when a warbond drops, if the items in the said warbond are not good, I truly believe that it hurts the game's longevity. And why I say that is, let's say a warbond drops that was mid. Let's say it's like a 5 out of 10, right? Let's say the weapons in that warbond are not good, or whatever stratagem in it isn't good, or whatever it is, it's just not good. It's ass cheeks, right? So what happens? Well, it hurts the longevity of the game because you start unlocking the warbond, you get to these items, you check them out, but they're boring. They're not good. So what do? You go back to the items that you were using, even though you just had a new warbond drop with a bunch of new items. You're not going to be utilizing these items, and you're going to go back to using the old items you've been using for the last 3, 4, or 5 months, maybe even longer. Some people maybe a little bit less time, but you guys get the point. And the reason this hurts the longevity is now you're just doing the same thing exactly that you've been doing for a while. And now you're just getting burned out, because if there's no good items in the warbond, what happens is the loop of gameplay stays the exact same. You're not switching up your builds a lot. And even if you are, it's still the old tools that you've been using over and over and over again. And on top of that, warbonds, you know, they don't take super long to unlock, right? Like you pretty much, if you farm them out, you have it, like, let's say probably for an average player within 3 to, probably for a casual player, let's say 3 days to a week, maybe, right? Something like that. Maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but you guys get the point. You unlock that, and then you test the items. They're not good, and now you have to wait another 35 days to get a new warbond and hope that it's gonna be good, so that, you know, you want to feel that fresh feeling to the game thanks to the items that are being added. But that doesn't happen. And once again, that's where the Warp Pack came in. The Warp Pack showcased something that was never really in Helldivers 2. And there's a few layers to this, right? Number one, we clearly saw that this is one of the best tools in the game, hands down. Number one, let's talk about the design of it and how it functions. And I also want to talk about the fact that I was really afraid when I first heard this Warp Pack, because I was so excited for an item like this to be added to Helldivers 2 that I was afraid that they would add it, but eventually it would be ass, that it would have a very long cooldown, or it would just not be strong, or it would be boring, or, you know, it would like self-destruct after a total of 3 or 5 uses, and then you have to summon it back again waiting for the cooldown. Like, there were so many things that were going through my head, but they didn't do it. They dropped the Warp Pack, and it's actually perfect. Like, I always say, credit where credit is due, and you always got to call out the bullshit as well. They also added DSS to the game. DSS was absolute ass cheeks. It was horrible, and we've always called out every single one of those things. But if you're calling out all the bad decisions, you also have to have the balls to say when something is done right. And Warp Pack is done right. Fortunately, some of the other items, right, not in just this warbond, but in general, weren't the greatest. Like we discussed it in the interview as well, where I said that, for example, plasma stratagem that we got, it needs work. The reason I think this changes Helldivers 2 forever is because now we know that number one, they can create awesome items that is actually going to shake up the meta. Number two, and by the way, you don't have to be a meta player to understand what I'm saying, right? Like it's okay to dislike meta, it's okay to like meta, play the game the way you want. But the fact is, it's done right, and that shakes up the meta because you have a good tool. And the reason that is important is now it affects the game loop that we said that doesn't get affected whenever you get bad tools added to the warbond. Now that we have the war pack, you can make different builds. You are playing the game differently. You are approaching every engagement differently. An example, now that chargers are running at you, you can just literally wait them out, teleport behind them, break their ankles. You can avoid Bile Titan Spew. You can teleport under factory striders. The strategy of gameplay has completely changed, and that is by adding one good item to the game. And this is what I've always been saying. Helldivers 2 needs these kind of items to be added to the game, because forget all the realism, forget all the believability, whatever it is. From the aspect of, even if we think about believability actually, right? Think about it yourself. If we take Helldivers 2 lore, it is actually pretty deep and pretty interesting, to the point that you can justify any cool items within the game. Let me give you an example, right? Cryo weapons is something that we've been asking for pretty long time, right? We've had this conversation multiple times on stream, off stream, and so on. So we already have that technology in the game. So if you want to justify it in terms of realism, which I don't agree with realism being the leading factor in Helldivers 2, but hey, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's their game. I can't do anything about it. I can only state my opinion on it. But we already have that specific technology in the game. For example, when you're going into the ship, your character is frozen and then instantly unfrozen. So what if we just justify it by saying, you know, the Ministry of Defense has decided that we took the technology that takes place on the ship that freezes Helldivers and we turn them into gunpowder to freeze our enemies for good. There you go. Justified. Believable. Now add it to the game. And I think that's the door that the Warp Pack kind of opened up. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? In my opinion, it is the best thing that could have happened to this game. I feel like when you have tools that once again change up the game loop, it is a phenomenal thing for a game like Helldivers 2. For a game that is not even a hardcore, you know, mill sim or whatever you want to call it. It's not. It's a very casual, fun, alien killer horde shooter game. At least if we get items like the Warp Pack, like even the Hover Pack, items like this that can affect the meta, it will change the game for good. And also, we need to understand, here is a great topic and a food for thought, and this is very important for me. So please make sure to drop comments in the comment section. What did Warp Pack do that is bad to the game? Why, how did it ruin the game? Warp Pack is now in the game. It's one of the best items in the game, right? How did it affect Helldivers 2 in a bad way? The answer is, in no way is it bad for the game. It doesn't feel overpowered. It doesn't feel broken. It just feels fun. It feels innovative. It feels like they finally sat down and let the imagination do its thing, and boom, just like that, we got a good product. That's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of the devs nowadays, not just Arrowhead, have this fear of making something really fun and powerful. Meanwhile, at some point, they miss the main thing. This is gaming. This is where we're supposed to feel that fun, that excitement, that power. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. And if any other item in Helldivers 2 didn't, Warp Pack proved that. You can add crazy items like this that are extremely good and fun, but they're still not overpowered and they do not hurt the game. In no way, shape, or form did Warp Pack hurt the game. If anything, it made the game 10 times better because you can approach the game in different play styles. Way more play styles now than there was before. A great example would be Torture and Warpack, Flamethrower and Warpack. So yes, in the future, I think that there should be more items like the Warpack. And if the devs listen to this video, please don't be afraid to add more items like this. Let the imagination flow. Let it do its thing. Add items that will make the players happy, that will make playing this game more exciting, more interesting. And don't shy away from greatness, because at the end of the day, doing things like this and adding innovative things like this is what's gonna put this game apart from many other games out there. And don't get me wrong, it's already different from other games in many ways, in a very good way. But sometimes it feels like when these war bonds do drop, we're missing something, man. It really does feel like that. Oh, it's another one of these. Oh, okay, this functions like this. There's always some kind of safety net behind it. But if you make good items, the community feels it. The community has fun with it. And once again, Warpack, items like that, they're not going to break this game. This game doesn't have that issue of said even power creep currently, because it is not a serious hardcore milsim game. It just isn't. There could be some elements from milsim when it comes to reloading and whatnot, and that's a completely different conversation. But at the core, at its like the way it plays, this game is a pretty chill, spend time with your friends, do some crazy shit video game. And if we kind of build into that, if we kind of feed that, this could be one of the greatest games of all time. And I truly believe that Warpack opened the path for this game to be a better game than it has ever been. So add those cryo weapons, add that stealth warbond, do it all. Make the player base happy and give the player base the ability to play the game the way they want to play the game. Add more customization when you have time. Make the stim pistol better. All of these things will help the game grow. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not gonna hurt it. If anything, it's gonna make this game 10 times better. So let's do it. Let's make this game 10 times better than it already is. And I truly believe that if the devs keep cooking up items like the Warpack, but not just one in the Warbond, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of the items, at least like 70 to 80%. Well, in the perfect case scenario, all items need to be cooking, right? But at least we need to kind of stop having Warbonds where only one item is good, right? We need to start getting Warbonds where 3 or 4 items are good. Yeah, we need tools like the Warpack to be implemented more into the game. I hope you guys do that. I hope you guys just feed into that crazy imagination that the game deserves. And once you do, you will see some incredible results. Make sure to let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate you all. You guys are literally the best community out there. You've been showing incredible support, and I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.